Hey, my name is Erin Kelly. I'm the CEO and co-founder of MemberVault, and this is the big picture overview for our marketing drop that is happening on May 2024. This is going to be a monthly thing that we're doing, and it includes 4 marketing emails and 20 social media posts. And the goal with all of these is that they're actually all going to be centering back on a paid product using a specific strategy. So every month we'll do a different strategy that helps you get a little bit more comfortable inside of your MemberVault and really like using it to its full capabilities. And so for the May marketing drop, what we're going to focus on is having a expiring content inside of a teaser module. And if you're not familiar with what teaser modules are, they're basically public modules that people can see even if they don't have access to that particular product, or they don't have an account with your MemberVault. So they don't have to be logged in. You can share that link anywhere for your teaser module, and people will be able to pop over and check it out, kind of like almost like you're sharing a blog post. But the cool thing is, unlike a blog post, teaser modules are actually attached to the paid product. And so it's a really great way for you to create this like customer journey where you're sharing something that's lower friction. Like you're saying like, hey, I'm giving you this thing for free, or like, showing my like FAQs, or, I have a sneak peek or whatever it is, right, inside of your teaser module. And people can actually go over, and it's not just like a sales page link that you're sharing consistently. Like, it's always good to have a sales page link, that you're sharing frequently. But it helps you mix it up and have something that's just a little bit like lower friction for people to actually engage with. And so for the May strategy, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing an expiring taste test for your paid program inside of a teaser module. So we're going to be taking a lesson or a resource from your paid product, and we're going to be actually copying it and putting it into a teaser module. And then all of the marketing drop templates, so the social media posts and the email templates, are all going to be focused on that particular strategy and getting as much visibility as possible on that teaser module, so that throughout that month, you are making sure that people are seeing it and they're taking advantage of it. And the reason why this is a really powerful strategy is because it is expiring. You create that urgency and that kind of like event energy that you can be talking about and using. So it's very, very positive, and it's a fun way to engage your audience. You're giving them something free. You're giving them a taste test of a paid program. And then I also recommend, and this is completely optional, but I recommend, if you really want to see as many conversions as possible, that you also add either a expiring discount on the paid product, or you add a special bonus that's going to be going away. And so they need to purchase before the deadline to be able to get that special bonus or to get that discount. So trying to decide which one of those you want to go with can be kind of difficult. And so what I recommend thinking about is like, how many people have access to this paid product? If it's a huge number of people that paid in full for this paid product, it might be kind of not the best experience for them if all of a sudden they see you promoting it and giving a really steep discount. And I'm not saying that the discount needs to be steep, but I'm just using that as an example. And so what I recommend, if you choose, let's say your product has a lot of people in that paid full price, and you want to go with a discount, there's a really easy way to make it not only a really good experience for your previous buyers, but also another way for you to bring in revenue. And so what I would recommend doing is reaching out to the people who are already, in the program. This is also a great opportunity for you to like re-engage them, that they have access to this product, especially if it's a digital product. Get testimonials, all kinds of good stuff like that, right? So it's a great way to open up conversation with people who have already purchased from you. But I would recommend reaching out to them and saying, hey, like, I'm going to be promoting my paid product. So like the name, right? You already have access to it. And here's that link again if you want to go pop in there and check it out. And I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be offering this special discount for people who purchase. I'm sharing this with you because if you know anyone that could benefit from this, and like remind them like how the program or product helps people, because they might forget that they even had access to it, right? So you want to make it really easy for them. But you can say like, hey, I want to make sure that like, if you know anyone that would benefit from this product or this program, that you let them know that this is happening. And of course, if you have your ducks in a row, and you can like share the teaser module with them so that they can share it with either their email list or just, with a friend. Definitely do that. Let them know that there's like a special discount and all that kind of stuff. And you can always just say like, hey, this is something I'm going to be doing next week. I'll send a reminder, but I just wanted to let you know first that this is happening. And I wanted to also extend, and this is like the second piece of it, right? I wanted to extend a special offer to you as well, because I really value you as a buyer and a customer and blah, 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 right? And so I'm making this available. And so this could be like a special offer. So it could be like, maybe you don't normally offer access to you. Maybe you don't normally have like a Voxer package or like an asynchronous package, or something where you like audit or have a call with them, or there's like a workshop that you want to do, I definitely recommend like having it be connected in some way to the product that you're talking about. So either it's something that is great for like continuing their journey, or it's something that you've added since they, you were last promoting this program, and like now it's this thing that you have that's like maybe it's like templates, or it's like a walkthrough course, or it's a like private podcast feed, or whatever it is, right? Like it's something that they maybe don't know that you have, that has been introduced since they purchased the program. And so you can say like, hey, I have this thing that's not normally, that you might not know that I have, that's really helpful in addition to this program that you already have access to. And I want to give you a special price on it, or, or availability to even purchase it. Right. And so it can either be, that, or it can be access to you. So it's like, normally I only have X number of spots open. But because I really value you, and I really want to help you, continue your journey around whatever the outcome that they want from that product, that I'm opening up spots. So for the next 10 people that want to snag one, like, here's my like booking link, right? So it can be anything like that. But the goal here is to not only obviously give yourself another revenue burst, but also let them know that you see them and you appreciate them, and you are wanting to continue with the journey with them, and continue supporting them and in a paid capacity, right? Like, it doesn't need to be free. That is a really, really powerful way for you to change the experience of maybe them seeing it on social media that you're promoting this discount on the product that they already paid in full for. And there's like all this like mindset stuff, right? Like around like whether you even need to be doing that. In my opinion, and for a really good, engaged, like high vibe, like great experience, customer experience feeling, it's good to at least like acknowledge it. I'm not saying you have to do it all the time, but that is just something that I wanted to roll out. Like, if you have a bunch of people inside of this product that paid in full, that it's a good idea to just reach out to them and say, hey, like, I'm going to be promoting the program again. If you don't want to necessarily open up something for them to purchase, you could always just say like, hey, like, I'm giving this opportunity to, I'm going to be promoting this and getting people in. And just so you know, like, I'm actually working on like adding some new stuff or updating it, right? Like, it's just an acknowledgement of like, hey, like, you're in my buyer's ecosystem and I appreciate you, and like, you have access to this thing, and I wanted to like resurface it for you. And if you choose to also give them an opportunity to continue working with you, then that's a really valuable moment. And so that's one way that you can look at like, do I want to offer a discount? How do I want to handle this, right? Or, and this is another opportunity that you can do, or maybe you decide that the urgency that you want to do for this strategy is that you want to offer a special bonus that people can get if they buy before the deadline. And so in that case, it's even easier because you just reach out to the people who have already purchased the program and say like, hey, just so you know, like, I'm promoting my program. If you know anyone that would be interested, here's the link to share with them. And obviously, like, again, recap like how it benefits people, right? Make it really easy for them to refer it. And then say like, I'm actually going to be giving people this bonus. And as someone who already had access to it, and someone that I really value, who's in my like ecosystem, I wanted to go ahead and give it to you too. And that'll be amazing. People are going to be like, oh my gosh, like, this is awesome. And so this video could be really, really long if I continue talking about like how you could continue that experience with them. But these are going to be the kinds of things that we dig into every single month with the marketing drops. And so I want to just really quickly walk you through. So that was like the strategy part of it, right? And like deciding if you want to do the bonus or the discount. But the actual like tactical, here's how you do it, is in this example, I'm inside one of the Action Labs. So if you're an All Access member, you have access to this. If you're not an All Access member and you want access to the Audio Gold Action Lab, and you want access to these marketing drops, just know that that is something you get as a part of the All Access membership. So I'm inside this Action Lab, and I'm actually inside of a lesson. Oops, sorry. I'm inside of a lesson. So this is the podcast where I have all of the different podcast episodes with their transcripts and the embedded audio, and then also the link to subscribe. And so let's say that I am doing this particular strategy where I'm like, okay, I want to boost sales of my Audio Gold Action Lab this month. And I want to give a teaser sample inside of the teaser module of something that's really popular, but also something that's going to be helpful for people who are considering joining the Audio Gold Action Lab. I know I'm going to give them a taste because this is mainly audio based. This particular product is mainly audio based. I want to give them a taste of both a podcast episode so that they can know whether they like it, whether they like looking at the transcripts, whatever it is. But I also want to think about what's the piece of content that is going to help with any objections that they might have or any frictions that they might have. So in this particular situation with the Audio Gold Action Lab, there's a lot of people that want to have private podcast feeds, but they kind of get stuck on the idea piece. Like and I know this because I used quiz dancers at the beginning of this Audio Gold Action Lab. And I said, like, why'd you buy this? Or where do you think that you're going to get held up? Right. And a lot of people said, like, I bought this because I'm really interested in adding a private podcast feed or having, either to an existing product or just having one as a standalone product. And then the follow-up information was, but I'm not sure how or like what topic I want to do or like how I want to integrate it into my existing offers. And so I'm kind of stuck on the like what my first private podcast is going to be. And so in that case, I know that this is probably that deciding your private podcast episode is probably going to be the best one for me to put in the teaser content, because then I can be talking about it on social media and in my emails. And again, this is going to be what we talk about in the templates, is using this as an opportunity to have a conversation with people about what might be holding them up from buying the paid product, right? And so I know that in this particular example, the Audio Gold Action Lab, people are like really intrigued at this idea, but they are also kind of stuck on what they should do first. And so I can make that part of the conversation and then have it be a very natural lead in to, I made this available for free. This was one of the most popular lessons from the Audio Gold Action Lab. And it's the first one that I recommend you doing before you dive into actually recording it and getting into Hello Audio and MemberVault. And so I actually made it free for you until X date. And so you can check it out. And if you want to keep access to it, just heads up, if you buy the Audio Gold Action Lab, I'm also giving you the, questions that convert Action Lab for free. So your buy one, get one is your deal if you purchase the Audio Gold Action Lab before X date, right? So you can see how that kind of like flows. And so what you do is you actually go into your paid product. And actually, before I go to that, make sure that you have a product inside of your MemberVault. And I have it, I just call it Scratch Content. And so I have an actual product. It's an invisible product called Scratch Content. You're going to see that in just a second. Make sure you have that done first. And I recommend using that, like if you have a membership or something like that, where you want to be able to add content to a product where people already have access to. It's really nice to have a Scratch Content product that's invisible, that no one else can see, right? That you can work on your content and get it to the point where it's ready to be inside of a live product and then move it over. And so in this case, obviously, like we're talking about an active paid product that you have for sale that people are accessing. You don't really want to be building your teaser module like on that product where people can see you actually like building it out. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go into your paid product after you've created your Scratch product. We're going to go into your paid product and we're going to look at go whatever lesson or module that you're wanting to use as a teaser content, right? And then go to the gear icon, so it says copy lesson 2. So I'm going to copy it to my Scratch content, which I have way too many products, so it's really hard to find it, but it's down here somewhere. Scratch content. So I'm going to go ahead and copy it over to my Scratch content, limited time available teaser module, and I'm going to click copy, and it's actually going to take me over there. So now you see that and this is what I'm doing right now. I'm building out this, the May template drops. And so you can see them being built out here. So there's the copy. And so I would actually just go into here and I would obviously edit copy out, but I also would want to make sure that the title makes sense. So you could say something like, how to decide your first private podcast, right? Like you want to make sure that the lesson that's inside of the lesson title that's inside of your paid product might not make the most sense for the lesson name of your teaser module. And so you can tweak it and you can mess around with it, right? And so I actually have a teaser module that I've already done this with, but I don't want to make this video super, super long. But just think about like you can actually tweak this and it's not going to impact the original lesson. So this is now its own lesson. So any changes you make here is not going to impact that lesson that you copied it from or the module that you copied it from. I would recommend having something here above that's like, this is a sample podcast episode. I'm not going to keep typing because I know it makes it really loud, but give a little context about what they're looking at, right? So this is a sample podcast episode from the Audio Gold Action Lab. It is the perfect first starting point for, deciding where you're going to add your private podcast feed. And it is one of the most popular lessons. And you're definitely going to want to recap like this is going to be available until X date. And I would also recap if you want to sign up for, so in your case, it would be your paid product, but let's just give the example. So this is a sample podcast episode from the Audio Gold Action Lab. It's the perfect place to start to figure out exactly what your topic is going to be and what your first private podcast is going to be. This is definitely like the starting point that I recommend. If you want to keep access to this after X date, and that would be the deadline, make sure that you upgrade to the Audio Gold Action Lab before the deadline. And you'll also get my Questions That Convert Action Lab as well. And then in my case, I'd be like, or you can just upgrade to All Access, and you'll get access to not only get access to all of my action labs, but you'll also get access to X, Y, and Z, right? So that's what I would recommend having right here. And then you can just be like, here you go. And of course, in my situation, like I'm not going to give them the subscribe link because then they would get all of the episodes. So like you would just make sure that that's not in here, and it's not. So just make sure that if there's anything like that where there's information inside of the module or lesson that's going to give somebody access to more than you really want them to have access to, make sure you take that out of this sample, right? And so you would just tweak it, and then you might put a little bit more context here again, where it's like, hey, just a reminder, like make sure this is going to be going away on X date, and if you want to keep access to it, make sure that you sign up for product name, and that you can get this like discount, or you can get the special bonus. And then I would put the direct purchase link, which I don't have here. You got to go to the product level to get it, but go to the gear icon at the product level and you can get the direct purchase link, and you can put that in there. Is the like buy now, right? And then once this is all tweaked and ready, then you'll just go ahead and go to the gear icon and do what we just did before, but you'll actually copy it back. So in this case, it would be, I'd scroll back up to Audio Gold, and I'm not going to do it, right? Because I don't want to put this sloppy mess back over there. But you would just go ahead and copy it back. And just a heads up, this is a place where you might get stuck because you're like, well, where do I put it? Because all of these modules are the modules that already exist in the product. And so you can actually just go over to the paid product before you do this and create a teaser module. Or you could just, what I probably would do, because I'm always playing quick and dirty, is I probably would just copy it here into the podcast as a lesson. And then it would take me, once I click the podcast, it would copy this lesson over to the Audio Gold, and I would just really quickly move it over into a new module. So hopefully that's not super confusing. I know this isn't like the most groomed walkthrough video, but just quick and dirty to see how that works. And so you need to have a home point that this lesson is going to. If it's a module, then you don't have to worry about that because then just the whole module moves over. And so I suppose another way that you could do it is you could just come here back to the main module level of your Scratch content and say, add your, so Audio Gold sneak peek, and then click add module, change it to a teaser module. And then we're actually going to go here back over to the Scratch content, and I'm going to go back into this module where we were working at it, right? So, and then we named it this. So how to decide your first private podcast. And we're actually going to copy the lesson into Scratch content and then copy it here. And then if you don't know this trick, this is a handy one. If there's just one lesson in a module, you can make the module and lesson names the exact same. And then people will bypass the module level. And so then so now we have a nice little teaser module, right? And we copy that back over to Audio Gold, which if I had cleaned this up a little bit more, I would go ahead and do it because I don't have a sneak peek on there yet. But yeah, it is as simple as that. Gear icons, moving things around. If you're in All Access and you have any questions, you can absolutely reach out to me via email, or you can post in the community so that you don't get stuck anywhere. I definitely don't want you to get stuck anywhere. And of course, All Access members also get priority support in our chat box. So if you have any questions, you can also reach out there and we will help you get it set up. And I'm really excited to see everyone using these marketing templates and getting more exposure on their paid products.